Right, good morning, Rachel. Welcome to the 365 Fitness podcast. I managed to drag you in.
Yes, for a while.
So I thought it'd be really good to get you on because I feel like you've got quite an interesting story into how you joined us and then the success you've had with us. And I think I'll throw a few things in there for what the coaching side also think of you as well, which you probably haven't thought about. If you can, I think this more importantly today really interesting for people that maybe aren't necessarily going to the gym yet or are thinking about it. If you were to first of all introduce yourself and tell us a bit about yourself, but then let's try and rewind all the way back to before you started this. It's 2 years ago now.
Yeah, okay. So I'm Rachel, 54, farmer's wife. So everyone thinks that means you're quite active in itself, but no, you're not really. So that's what tractors are for now. So on one of my yearly health checks at the doctors, they picked up that my blood pressure was slightly high and wanted to put me on medication. And I said, give me 6 months to try and do something myself, and then we'd have a review, and they agreed. And the only way I was going to do anything myself was to come to something structured like this. If I'd gone to bog standard gym, I'd have got in there, I wouldn't have known what to do, probably given up after the first session. So I made contact with Devon on Facebook, and she talked me through it, and I said, I'll think about it. And then she chased me again and said, what are you scared of? And I said, being the fat, unfit one in the corner, can't do anything. And she said, I promise you, you won't feel like that. And I've never felt like that, honestly. It was scary coming. It was very scary having the first session with you. In my mind, I did tell you that at the start, didn't I? That having you as my instructor was one of my big...
Which I was going to bring up and
but actually, different instructors bring different things. And I really enjoy all the instructors, but I do really enjoy you. Yeah, probably because I've been here from the start. Yeah, so I've been coming for nearly 2 years. Blood pressure is down, no medication, so tick box, but I really enjoy it. And it's something I look forward to making time for now. And I'm not very good at planning, which you all know. So I sit at breakfast in the morning with the family. We talk about what everyone's doing, and I look at what's available on the schedule, and I say, everyone all right if Mum disappears at 10:30 for an hour? I book it. You can book it an hour before the session starts, which is ideal for me. Yeah, great. Really enjoy it. Never thought it would be my thing, but it's something that, as I say, I look forward to doing, and I do make time to get here.
Yeah.
Lovely crowd, all the clients. You call us a team. We are a team. We're a family. And we have a good laugh. Everyone supports everyone else. There was a new lady the other day that said she couldn't believe how supportive everybody was. And that's the key to it. Yeah.
Sold it. I don't need to say anything. I'm still. Thank you for that. It's really kind. I do want to keep going back to that almost very beginning stage for you.
And don't forget, Devon saying, show me what you do as a squat. And I did it. Okay.
But that's fine. Everyone does have a different starting point. And that's why we do that one-to-one first to see what we are dealing with and how we can then make it work for you. But I think it'd be interesting to talk about that initial phone call, because a lot of people, we have that initial phone call, or it's taken us 5 attempts to get hold of someone on the phone. Then we do get the, can I think about it?
Yeah.
How important was that phone call, was that follow-up process, do you think, to actually getting you in the door in the first place? Because I know from our perspective, it does feel like we're like hassling people sometimes. When you've shown an interest in us, I will keep ringing you until you pick up the phone or tell me to go away. How important do you feel like it is that...
If it hadn't been for that follow-up phone call, I wouldn't be here. I'd had that chat with Devon and gone away to think about it. And I knew in my head it's what I needed to do. But to actually take that step, it's a big step, isn't it? I've never set foot in a gym before in my life. I was 52, never done anything like this. Yeah, if she hadn't phoned me and said those words, what are you scared of, and reassured me, I would never have made that step. So yeah. Keep plodding on and chasing people.
And it's interesting you say that. You've said to us, let me think about it. What were you actually thinking about in that time? What was going through your mind?
Probably trying to think of a good excuse not to come, really. But yeah, as I say, I knew in my head that's what I needed to do. Something structured. You come in, it's written on the board what you're doing. You've done all the planning for the week. So if you're in on a Tuesday and you're in again on a Thursday, the same exercises aren't on the board. Everything is planned for you. And that's the beauty of it. Yeah, and you adjust everything to abilities and injuries. Yeah, there's nothing to worry about. Everyone's very friendly and just supports everyone else.
And those, thinking back to those first couple of workouts, first couple of weeks, I guess what was going through your mind at that point? And I think it is really interesting to what was it that you, because you're not the only person. I've had someone else recently that has turned around and said, I don't want to be trained by you, because I am the only male coach here, which I think does make a bit of a difference. But I'm interested to know why that is and what was going through your mind beforehand.
Probably because you're a man and you just think of you being ultra fit. In your head, you've probably got that men are a different fitness to women. And yeah, you're just scary. And then I had my double whammy because in those days you used to get a few one-to-one sessions. I'd come in and I'd be the only one and I'd think, oh, God alive. And then I came in and I was the only one and I had you for that session. And I was like, I'm going to die. I know I say that quite often, but I haven't died yet. But yeah, but when you finish, you think, God, that was actually really good. Yeah. And you pushed me in a different way to other instructors, but you don't push me any more than what you know I can do.
Perfect. I think that is the beauty of having what we have here, is we will push you, but we know how to push those buttons and how to get that little bit more out of someone, more than what you would do on your own, but also being careful not to completely overdo it.
Yeah. Ruin it.
And see what you can do that way. Okay, so that was when you first started, but now 2 years down the line, you've been consistent pretty much the entire time, which has been phenomenal from our side of it. You're now at a point where, would you say, I did a social media post on this a couple of weeks ago, is your identity now someone who does exercise?
Yes, definitely. Definitely. Yeah, I'm doing a walking holiday with the girls in 3 weeks' time. Probably have poo-pooed that as soon as it was suggested in the girls before. And yes, and I've signed up for this battle of cancer in October.
Well, it's on camera now. She's committed.
So, and I've told people, yes, and it won't be perfect, but it will be a lot better me than what it was 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And that's the thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
No, that's amazing. I think one thing that's really nice, and I don't think everybody has this, but it's quite special for you, is I love how when you come out of a workout or when you've just done one of your exercises, one of the first things you say is, can't wait to go home and tell my son. And I think that's amazing that you have that support at home from everyone to allow you to come in and do it. Because a lot of people, they will put everyone else first and they'll find reasons not to go and do it. But actually, when you've got people that are cheering you on from the side, it's quite special. I guess tell us a little bit about that dynamic, that situation, because like you'll do a deadlift, you'll do better than you did the week before, and the first thing you'll say is like,
got to have Yeah, so my youngest son is 22. He's been majorly into the gym since he's mid-teens. And I did say to Devon on that first date that he was going to be my little support thing and my encourager. And he is, because when you video and I show him, at the end of it, he'll go, well done, Mum, but you could have done more, couldn't you? And I'm like, okay, come on. Yeah, and all the family is really nice and supportive. It's
amazing. And I think you probably don't realise this, but you're a massive support network for a lot of the members here. So a lot of the members could turn and say to us, especially when you're in sessions with them or even outside, I know there's a few members that you'll reach out to in your own time and be like, I think that is a testament to you, but it's such a special thing that you're taking your time to go and support other people. And you probably don't even realise what you're doing when you're doing it.
Right.
But even when you're in there, you'll turn around to the other guy and oh, go on, you can do that a little bit more. And oh, that's amazing. And you're always the first person in the room to praise someone else for doing something they didn't think was possible. Yeah. I know definitely one of the ladies, like, I wouldn't have turned up today if Rachel didn't message me.
Right.
Or I wouldn't be here now if you weren't the person that was reaching out.
Yeah. And
you're just doing that because you're a lovely person. But
it's people that we've talked to, and we're doing different exercises, and someone will say, oh, I really struggled to get here. And we've done a few classes together, so I knew we're at the same times. And I've said, if you want to have someone that says, I'll meet you there at 5:30 on Tuesday or whatever, just text me. So I just text people and say, have you been in? How are you getting on?
Yeah, do our job for us. But again, I think that's the nice thing about here and that community side of it, is that it doesn't necessarily have to be us that's the people that are checking in and keeping you accountable. It's the other people that are around you.
And when we turn up here and we're chatting before we go in, everyone will say, when have you been in today? And it's just a nice family atmosphere. It's really nice.
And what would your advice be to your former self or to someone that is considering doing something different with exercise, or maybe they're in the same situation of they've been to the GP and they've said we need to intervene at this point? What would you say to that person?
Get on and do it. Don't stop thinking about it. Stop dilly-dallying and do it. And you said in class about a month or 6 weeks ago, to someone else in the room, imagine what you could be doing if you'd started when you were 20. And that is stuck in my head. Imagine what I could be doing. Yeah, I've started and I'm on a mission.
Rachel, you are a gem to have at the gym. I don't think you realise that,
Thank you.
but it's an absolute pleasure to have you here. And thank you for jumping onto the podcast.
Finally.
If anyone listening has found this useful, all you do need to do, like Rachel said, is reach out. That's the hardest part, is getting
It
through
is.
the door.
And that's what I said to someone the other day. They were on week 3. And I said, but you've made the hardest step because you're here. And that is the hardest bit, isn't it?
Absolutely. Don't wait, reach out. Rachel,
Do it.
thank you very much.
Thank you.